affectionately called the Corvette Row, because on the top row, it's basically all C2 and C3 Corvettes. All right. In the yard, I'm going to walk down what we affectionately call the Corvette Row, because it's, yeah, there's some bigger stuff on the bottom, but on the top row, it's basically all C2 and C3 Corvettes, with a few others mixed in for good success. Like this I think this is actually a C1, ironically right here. You gotta watch out the mud. Next to a C3. You can see it's been customized with 3 taillights. Last plated in 1970 and modified. Might be the frame there, I'm not sure. That's another rear frame section with, or a rear section of a Corvette. I think that's even earlier, like a 54 C1. And then, oh, there's a pile of Corvettes right there. You know, don't you stack your Corvettes on top of each other? Go over here. It looks like it was a C2 Corvette, or C3. Some C3s on top of a Riviera. A C1 with a C3. Or is that C2? I'm sorry, that's a C2, I think. No, it's a C1. And then there's another C3. Another C2. Man, I'm blanking now. It's been a long day. C1. I'm sure I'll get it all in the comments. I know these are C3s. These are all C3s. Another C1. Another C3. More C3s. Another C3. Oh, so there wasn't any real C2s, but on this side, how about International Scout and some vintage Land Cruisers. Those are neat. I know there's a huge following for these nowadays. These are, I mean, they're not in terrible condition. I mean, they need to be restored, but I think you can get everything for them from what I've heard. And then some VW buses, Monte Carlo SS. And then over here, if we can cross the mud without killing myself. This right here, I was told was originally a Buick GN, but everyone pointed out that there's a lot of that's not a GN, it's just a T-type, which is still a very desirable Buick. You can see that there's no engine, no transmission, not even like a front end. All right, and then you can see old Nova there. And then there used to be another Buick GN or a T-type in here. And I'll show pictures in the video. But I don't know if it was a burnt up Hulk, and so I believe they crushed it. But this one's still here. That's the important thing. And then here's a Nova postcar. And then let's go finish off over here. See what kind of trouble we can get into. Opel. Big old truck driving by. Javelin. Another 69 Mustang. On top of a Riviera. Yep. 2 Javelins right there. And then a 69 Mustang. Ooh. Oh, and there goes my shoelace. Great. All right, got to tie my shoelace. Here's the other side of that 69 Mustang. You can see it's missing a lot. But now I'm going to go over there.
As the place evolved, you know, the woods that all those cars were in out there, was a lot of elm trees.
Yeah.
This building here was built in '59.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that old. Wow.
And the wood from this building came out of that woods out there, which was, 2.5 diameter elms, huge old trees, but it devastated the wood crop in this whole area. Any elm, the beetles and bugs, they just killed them.
Oh, you had Dutch elm?
Dutch elm.
Wow, okay.
So...
Was the building okay, though?
Well, no, they dropped all them trees out there and took them to the mill and buzzed up all these planks. If we go into the back where it has no finish walls, and you can see the planking. Christ, this board's that wide.
Oh, I'm sure.
Wow. And this is obviously a Quonset, this hut. And and a lot of the farmers used them for grain storage because a lot of them didn't have the big bins and so forth that they use today. They just section off a section inside the building and just dump the grain, and all the kids were the slaves to shovel it into bags and get it onto trucks.
But so your father was running it then, and he got rid of the oak and
he was
Dutch.
I think he lived till 76 years old, which he lived a full life. There ain't no doubt about that. But he burnt the candle on four ends.
Oh, jeez.
It was this. It was the family. It was Dow. It was chasing cars. This goes back to before there were interstates. There was no I-75. There was no anything express to get north. So in essence, the weekends we're looking at wrecks up north because there were no car pools. I think the only pool in the day was Allstate had one that they called Tech Core that was in Detroit.
Okay.
And that was the start of any kind of pool, and it went from there to several, probably at least 4, 5, 6 other small family-owned pools.
Gotcha.
But we would, as a family, and again, back to Mopars, my dad, for some reason, we always had the big town and country with the 9-passenger, and the older boys would be stuck in the back staring at the traffic and throwing stuff out the window at cars and getting yelled at.
Been there. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video from the same yard as last weekend. Same yard's going to be for a while. I know I didn't do the same intro as last time. The time that I had didn't really work out. I didn't really think through all my shots because when I was there 10 years ago, he had moved stuff around. So I had a rough idea where stuff was, but not a real firm grasp. Especially when I got there, I saw he moved entire rows from where they were to where they are now, which you'll see in the pictures and you've seen in some of the video. It's cool though that I got to go back to that Corvette Row because when I was there 10 years ago, it was completely overgrown. There was trees, and you can see in the earlier pictures that it was really hard to see what was there because of the trees and the growth. So it was nice that he had moved the entire row. It used to be 90 degrees from where it used to be. So he did some serious moving, which allowed me to get a much better view of the cars, and I wish I had more time. I had only one day on the property to do. I walked it in, I think, 10 hours, and then I tried to do drone footage in about another hour. The sun was setting, which you'll see in later videos by the time I was doing my drone stuff. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, 10 or 15, C2, C1 Corvettes is pretty cool. But we got GTO Judges coming up. We got Shaker Challengers, we got Charger RTs, we got Super Bees, a lot of really cool stuff. This past week has been really weird weather-wise. I don't know if you guys had it where you are, but we had the Aurora Borealis come through here, and I'll put a picture or so, over this to show you what I saw with some long-duration astrophotography. And earlier in the week, I was chasing that steam train. I missed it once on the first day when it was coming from Wisconsin to Chicago because I got the days wrong and they rerouted it. So I missed it the first day, sorta. The second day I got to see it when it was parked in Franklin Park and when they had to turn it around because they had it facing the wrong direction. And then on the last day I went with my friends Steve and Deb and I saw it crossing the Fox River in Elgin, Illinois, which was really beautiful. I'll put the train videos at the end since I know not very many people want to see them. But it's really neat. I really think it's really beautiful, especially the way they have the trains all painted the same, and it's very, I think, very nice. But if you guys have any comments or questions, please let me know. I'm always looking for good feedback because I don't make this any better without, people telling me what's good and what's bad. But I know you guys appreciate the content, so keep watching. A new episode every Monday. Oh, one last thing. This weekend, I'm either going to be going to, I'm not sure if this weekend, this weekend's Automotion in Wisconsin Dells. I think I might go to that, depending on the weather. That's up in the air. The weekend after that is the Mopar Blast in St. Louis. It's also, what else is going on? There's something else going on. I'll post it in my next video, in the video next Monday. But, there's time, it's, my niece's birthday party. But, so, I don't know exactly. That weekend, the weekend of the 18th, in May 18th, 2024, is a junkyard walk at Elmer's Auto Salvage, Auto Graveyard, he calls it. And they do tours, 2 tours on Saturday. And I'm thinking about attending it. I did it back in 2019, I think. And I was rushed because I'd never been there before. But I plan on going back. If my schedule works out the way I hope it is. So I'll keep you all posted on that one. This week, if the weather holds out, I'll be working in the garage. I have to clean off my workbench again, and I still have all the parts sitting in my minivan that I have to put over there, and I need to get more shelving still. But I'll talk to you all soon. Stay safe. Let me know what you think.